Allison Janney, the last time we spoke was about this time last summer, and you were a four-time Emmy winner at that point, and now you're a six-time Emmy winner. I think we told you on that particular video that you had a really good shot of winning both of those.
You did, and I didn't think it was. I didn't think it would be possible. I didn't. It was a pretty cool thing that happened. It was really nice.
Well, I mentioned, the weird thing about predicting that was I told you, I think the last time somebody had won two acting awards in the same year was your pal Stockard Channing, like a decade ago. So it had been a long time.
I think I was sitting next to her when she won those two too. I think it was during West Wing days, but yeah, and then Stockard's in the same Stockard and Cloris Leachman, I think, and maybe someone else. There's the three of us have won twice in 1 year. I don't know. It was great. It was great company to be in other words.
Well, let's walk through those two ceremonies. The first one, the Creative Arts Awards, were the week before, and you won for Masters on the guest side. What were your feelings as you got there that night and then winning the award for that?
Well, it was the first time I had attended the Creative Arts Emmys, and I loved them. It didn't seem as it was a much calmer atmosphere. I don't know if people were wasn't as hyped up and tense as it is at the Emmys the following weekend. It was very relaxed. I had a really nice time and felt I was surprised and excited to win. I felt it was a very different experience than the other Emmys. It just seemed like there wasn't as much pressure there, and I really liked how I felt. It was very calm, and then winning was wonderful, and especially for that role. I just continue to love. I've gotten to do a couple more episodes for the season that's airing right now. I just love the character. I think she's a character that's worthy of further exploration and further episodes. I want to keep doing her because she's very close to me, I don't know. I just have as a lot of people I think have related to her for whatever reason. She's relatable, and so it was great to win for that. And then the following week was the I don't know how you differentiate. Some people say that there was some. What do you call it? You just call it the Creative Arts Emmys.
Creative Arts on the first one, and then just the Primetime Emmys on the second.
Primetime Emmys. All right, Primetime Emmys. That was just more nerve-wracking, more pressure. I felt a lot of pressure, and then I win, and I think I always had a combination of feeling afraid I would win and excited I would win, and because I'm always afraid that I'm going to mess up my speech somehow, because I've never been good at writing something down. I just sort of think of things I want to say, and think, well, the most important things will come out, and you inevitably forget to thank somebody, or you say it wrong, or you feel embarrassed. There's a lot of pride. I feel enormous pressure getting up there. Really thrilled, but also terrified that I'm going to say something stupid.
Well, you're back again this year with both roles at the Emmys, same two categories again. I want to talk about that in a moment, but just going back to last year, we mentioned in several articles, and I think I mentioned to you during the video we did, getting to 6 was just like a magical number. And I think you mentioned that on the second ceremony, that you now had 6, and that ties your third place right now with Art Carney, Tim Conway, Tyne Daly, and Carl Reiner among performer Emmys. Carl has more than that, but in terms of acting Emmys. If you get the 7th this year, which you certainly could, you go to a second position with Ed Asner and Mary Tyler Moore.
Oh my God, I can't even believe you just said.
And if you get both this year, you go to the lead. You go to #1 all time among acting Emmy winners.
Are you serious?
Cloris Leachman's in first with 8.
Oh my God. That would be almost too much to wish for. I can't. I don't know what the odds are of me doing the same thing. I can't imagine. That would.
But just getting to 7, if you get there with Ed and Mary, that's a pretty good group to move into.
Oh, I was so fortunate. Ed did a guest star on Mom, and I got to work with them, and that was just so great. Because I mean, Mary Tyler Moore Show is my favorite all-time show.
Was he what you thought he would be?
He was lovely. I'm always afraid to meet people I admire because they'll be, I don't know, not warm or gracious or generous, and I think that's the thing I'm afraid of most. And he's lovely. He really loved the work as an actor. Like, we were working out moments together and doing, talking about them. And he was still he still had a playful quality about him, about the work. And it was great fun to be with him. I would love to, Mary Tyler Moore, my God, my hero. She truly, that whole show, everybody in there, and Cloris Leachman, they're just the greatest group of actors, greatest show. I would be beyond thrilled to be in the category with those people.
Well, and you've got many more years ahead of you too. I mean, it could happen this year, but I mean, it seems like it's destined to happen at some point. And we've got you, I think, in the lead on the comedy side, and maybe our voters have you predicted like second on the drama side behind Cicely Tyson, another big name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've worked with her too. How amazing I got to work with her. And
That's right. You did.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
What I love about this group of people I named, all the people that you're currently tied with, plus Ed and Mary and Cloris, all of them are in the TV Hall of Fame. So I think you're destined for that one day soon.
Love it. I would be incredibly honored. I would love it. I love what I do, and I love both these TV shows that I get to be on. I've never felt more connected than when I'm doing either one of these roles. I feel really, really great in both of their skins. I'm so lucky that I get to do it. I'll tell you.
Let me ask you about Margaret first. That's the first ceremony we'll see you at here in a month or so. You were in the premiere episode of second season. That's the season, not the season that's airing now. The previous season is the one that's up for the Emmys. You were in the premiere episode. Something very tragic almost happens to Beau Bridges' character, and he's nominated again as well. Just tell us about getting that script and that particular episode, which kind of sent both of your characters off for a good while before we saw you again.
Yeah. Well, it was it was a pretty dramatic episode and some really tough scenes to go through. And I was I knew though that with Michelle and Sarah are so wonderful, and Michael Apted, who's one of my favorite directors. I knew that they would help us through something like that. It was very, it's dealing with an attempted suicide was very, it was difficult to go through, and but I found actually in doing it that it was the master. You know how they break it down. You do a master of a scene, and then you break it down and do coverage. The master was the hardest thing to get through, and then when we broke it down into smaller scenes, it became more mechanical and actually kind of. I think it sort of saved us from having to go through the reality of that every time to get coverage. It's almost became so difficult that at one point I remember they were shooting close up, and I was like wondering what kind of M&Ms they had at craft service, and I'm like, what am I? It was very hard to get to shoot a scene like that. It's almost easier to do that and get the emotions for something like that if you were doing it in a play, you know what I mean, where you get to go through from beginning to end. And chopped up, it was difficult. It was challenging to get through, but everyone on that set is so respectful and understanding of what we do, especially in that show with all the different requirements of a lot of sex scenes and Beau is such a lovely actor to work with. He is he's just so present and so helpful in talking through things and making sure we're both comfortable. It's just a great set to work on, and that episode was very emotional and very rewarding. I think I saw a cut together because I was doing looping for part of it, but I don't think I ever watched. I don't usually like to watch what I do after I do it. I don't like to. I know what it's like. I know what it feels like doing it, and I don't really like to watch it. I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels that way.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of actors over the years that I mean, I'll even see them on talk shows where you can tell they turn away. They don't even want to see a scene from their show.
No, I can barely stand to look at my when it keeps switching back to me, and I'm like, ah!
Oh, there. Trust me, people would much rather be looking at you right now than me. But I interviewed Bo last summer, and he is I love talking to people that like grew up in the industry because he just has so many stories to tell.
He's got great stories. He gave me some, I have one of those books up here. I thought I did. He gave me some really great books that his parents wrote, or they were about acting and stories that love letters from his father and mother. Just a great family, a great family, and a family who loves to act. And I would imagine, holidays were a lot of fun at the Bridges house.
Oh, I can imagine. And we all feel like he's going to win here in a few weeks. Wouldn't that be wonderful for the two of you to maybe present the following week as the guest actor winners?
Oh, wouldn't that be? Oh, I wish that. I really want Bo to win. He deserves it. He's an actor.
Well, he's won a bunch too. The two of you together, I think, would weigh down a car with all of your awards. I think I don't remember the exact numbers, they're not in front of me, but he's won 4 or 5 Emmys himself.
I'm sure, I have no doubt, but I don't know what the number is. But
he used to be in all those great movies and miniseries back in and he would win quite often in the 80s and 90s.
Which miniseries was he in? That
I remember he won for the I don't remember the full title, but the James Brady story about the White House press secretary. Speaking of press secretaries, who got the Reagan press secretary who got shot. He won for that, and he won supporting Holly Hunter in that Positively True Adventures of the Texas Cheerleader Murdering Mom, I think was the full title on that one.
Oh, I didn't know he was in that. I never saw that one. All right, I'm gonna have to rent that.
And a couple of others I know. But listen, opposite end of the spectrum here, you get to last year win on the drama and comedy side. And Bonnie is not just, that is a fun character, but a little darkness there too.
Yeah, I like her dark side. She's a really she is a good time gal, and pretty infuriating to have as a mother for Anna's character. She tends to overlook her own flaws and not to take credit for them. But I love her fearlessness. I love how she just doesn't care what anybody thinks about her, but she makes you think that she doesn't, but she actually really does. She wants people to like her, and just like anybody else would. But she's got a lot of layers, thick layers of skin and hurt, and her past is pretty. Oh, it was pretty sad. Well, I can't say. Can I say? I can't say. We have a pretty cool guest star coming on to play. What? I can? Ellen Burstyn is going to play my mom.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I interviewed her last year, speaking of legends, and she's just such a nice lady.
I'm so excited, Chris. I am just a huge Ellen Burstyn fan. And so she's going to come on and play Bonnie's mom.
I can see that. I really can. That's good casting.
Oh, you think that's good casting? I'm very excited about working with her. She's never done a multicam before. I'm hoping that she takes to the, takes to it, because it's not for everyone, but I have a feeling that she's going to be okay. I really.
Well, she's done Broadway though, so it's not like she hasn't been in front of an audience.
Yeah, I think she's going to be okay with it. I'm just thrilled that they got someone of her caliber to come on, and I think it speaks to the show what we deal with on it. It just, I think it's really, I feel proud of it socially. I love, you know, what we're putting out there. And I'm always so proud of how many people come up to me on the street and are people in the program in recovery, and they're really grateful that there's a show that talks about their lives and what kinds of things they deal with. Hey,
she's another one that yeah, we love the dogs.
Yeah, that's one I like. Yeah, you get your.
We had another one earlier, but I guess he moved along. He didn't want to be.
We're all on the floor. We're sprawled out all over the place. Dutch, you're on camera. He's concerned that there's someone out in the house. He's my only boy dog, and he's very paternal.
Oh, he's a little put out that I'm on the street.
These are the dogs I got in Mississippi.
Is that right?
Yeah, I got Dutch and Sippy. Okay. Dutch and Sippy I got in Senatobia.
Okay, I know where that is. Yeah, that's not.
Stop at Sippy.
That's maybe 45 minutes from where I am.
Yeah, I saw them on rescuepet.com, and I went and rescued them. They were supposed to be little Chihuahua mixes. I thought they were like Mississippi Hound Dog Chihuahua mixes, and then they grew up that big.
They should like my accent then.
Yeah, they'll like. They'll take to you. You're a good boy. Anyway, sorry.
No, I was going to say about Ellen Burstyn. You'll have to ask her about this. One thing I loved about her, among many, when we were interviewing her, was she knows her awards history too, and she's got 3 pieces of that EGOT that you've heard about. She's got Emmys, she's got an Oscar, and she's got a Tony. And she was asking us on the interview last year, do you have any suggestions on how I can win the Grammy? I mean, she really wants to be in that EGOT group. There's only 12 people that have done that.
Can she read a book or
Well, that's what we told her. You know, she was promoting Flowers in the Attic when we had her on. We said, why don't you contact those folks? Do like the audio book for Flowers in the Attic.
Can she do that? Can you win a Grammy for doing a book on tape?
Yeah, you can. In fact, most of the people that have gotten an EGOT that aren't like singers, like let's say John Gielgud has it, somebody like that, they've generally gotten it for either doing like a children's book on tape or an audio book of some sort.
All right. Well, she can do. I'll try to coax her into doing that. That would be, God, I'd love to. Who else? I don't even know who's got it. Who has that? Oh
gosh, I think I'm going to bore people, but I'll give you the 12. Richard Rodgers.
You know them by offhand? You could just say that?
Oh, I can. Rita Moreno.
Rita Moreno?
Yeah. Jonathan Tunick, who's a arranger on Broadway. Okay. John Gielgud, Audrey Hepburn.
Wow.
Helen Hayes. Boy, you're catching me here. Mel Brooks, Mike Nichols.
Mike Nichols, my favorite.
And then the 2 most recent were Scott Rudin, the producer, and Robert Lopez last year, or a year and a half ago, when he got the Frozen, the song win for Frozen, he joined the group. He's the youngest. He's in his 30s.
Wow. He's in his 30s and he has all those?
He might be right at 40, but yeah, he's got all 4 because he did Book of Mormon, and of course he's gotten Grammys, and then he'd already had an Emmy. So yeah.
Wow.
But I'm boring people. Maybe you enjoyed it. I think I left somebody out, but that's pretty much the group.
I think I'm impressed that you. I would love to be in that list too, but I got a few to get under my belt.
Well, you've had Tony nominations, so you were on that track.
Never won a Tony. Oscar, no, not that yet.
But you've been in some very high-profile movies.
I have been. I've been in movies that have won Oscars, and I have friends who've won Oscars.
You've had 2 SAG wins for film ensemble, right? American Beauty and The Help?
Yeah. I feel like there was another one, too.
You were nominated for Hairspray.
Hairspray. Did that not win one?
It didn't win the SAG ensemble, but you were nominated there. And you might have had one other one. I don't remember.
But I don't remember either. But I love those Ensemble Awards. Those are some of my favorites, just because they feel. I like the idea of an Ensemble Award.
That's really the only place that does that. I really do. It seems like every year, no matter if it's film or TV, the winners of that, and you won some for West Wing as well. everybody seems so genuinely excited, and I love it when it's like a big cast, like last year or earlier this year when Orange is the New Black won. I just love that there were 45 people on stage.
Yeah. And it's so great because as actors, at least for me, I've always felt that acting is a team sport, and I feel you just feel more comfortable winning something as a group, because you're all in it together. So it feels weird when you're singled out, and it feels really nice when you get something as a group, because it just feels right that way. It's nice.
Well, one more mom question, and I'll let you go. Our viewers just love to know about these episode kind of things, and you chose one from late in the season where you have to decide whether you're going to take the pain medication or not for your back. Dropped Soap, I think I don't remember the full title, but that was the first
Soap and the big man on a throne or something.
Right. What made you choose that? Because we thought it would probably be something like that, which was high physical comedy, or possibly something from earlier in the season that was a little darker, where involving Kevin Pollak's fate.
I know. I got to tell you truthfully, I have never picked the episode that is submitted, because I often feel I'm not a good judge of my own work, and I always left it to like West Wing. I was Tommy Schlamme picked the episode that I submitted, and then this episode. Hey, guys, stop it! This episode, I had some of my representatives and other people pick, because I get too afraid to pick, and there were certain parts I liked from other episodes that I thought were funnier, like the episode where I pull up my skirt and jump out, like that whole where Bonnie's like trying to get a job and she's lying at every job interview and saying she's qualified, and that I loved. And there were a lot of other episodes, but I just said, you guys pick. I don't know who you choose. So that's my little secret. I never choose them. I let someone else do it.
Well, I think they did a great job. I mean, I think voters love physical comedy, and that the show was a little darker. But when I hope people have seen by now that when Kevin Pollak's character died, and I think the physical comedy, and also pain medications, and it's not totally 100% comedy. I mean, fun comedy, because you've got to make a really tough decision there about whether you even should take in your sobriety situation, that you should take those.
Yeah. I think that Chuck has managed to balance a little bit of the heavy with the dark, because sometimes the best laughs are earned from going through something a little darker. And I know that episode had a lot of good physical comedy, which is some of my favorite. I truly love to do physical comedy. I will fall, jump, out any window to make somebody laugh. And I'm fortunate that my mother made me do a lot of dance classes, and I was, figure skater. I was very athletic, and so I love that, and that episode certainly let me do a lot of that, which I hope I always get, let me slip on a banana peel, I will slip and fall and make you laugh.
Well, speaking of high comedy, I had Matthew Perry on a few weeks ago, and I told him how much I loved Mr. Sunshine. That was one of my great, as a viewer, one of those failures that you're just like, oh, come on, people watch this show. And I said, because you'd come off West Wing there, and things like American Beauty, and I said, Matthew, I didn't know Allison could do that kind of comedy. And he said, oh, I knew she could.
He was, oh God, I love that man. I love that show too. I don't know why. I think there was a change of the guard at that other network, and I don't think someone liked it as much. I don't know. There were so many reasons things don't go. But Matthew, I would follow him anywhere. I think he is truly one of the nicest, funniest men, and I wish that had gone too. Darn.
Well, sometimes those not ownership, but leadership changes. They just don't have the ownership of what has gone before. Especially if it's not got the greatest ratings. So,
yeah.
But now that you're CBS neighbors, maybe Bonnie can meet Oscar Madison in some way.
I know. Where does he shoot that? I don't know if does he shoot that in some.
They're in Los Angeles, but I'm not sure which studio.
Well, I'm going to find out. I'm going to see him tonight at the.
That's right. That's right. You got the CBS party. Oh, speaking of one other person this year, Creative Arts, we all feel like in the comedy guest actor category, Mr. Bradley Whitford might be winning, and we just had him on in an interview a few weeks ago. Wouldn't that be something if you both won the same night?
I would love that. I loved seeing him. I saw him at the Critics' Choice, I think, and he won, and it was so wonderful to see him doing well. He's a very funny guy. So yeah, I would
call for him on Transparent too.
Yeah, such a great part. He is funny. You've talked with him.
Yeah, we had him on about I guess early June, so early part of the summer.
Okay, yeah, he's.
We worked our way through the West Wing this year. We had Richard Schiff on talking about Manhattan. We had Tommy Schlamme on talking about Manhattan. We try our best to get all of the. We almost had Martin Sheen talking about Grace and Frankie, and his schedule got tied up. But all of you are doing so well.
I'm Dulé too. Oh yeah, I love it. And we see each other, and we were like, we're family. We are all family. I love every single one of those actors and everyone we worked with. We're I spent more time with them than anybody in my life. I know.
Well, listen, thank you so much. I know you've got to get to your party, and good luck. You got 2 more shots here in next month, and I'm looking forward to finally seeing you in person.
I will. I cannot wait to come up and give you a big hug and kiss on the red carpet, both of them. But the Creative Arts Emmys first. So travel well, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Great. Well, good luck with everything. Thank you.
Thank you.